Malaysia, I've talked about this a little bit earlier. Malaysia asked to reopen MH370 probe after claims of new evidence. Now, I said there was some stuff I was going to talk about once I got to the article, so let me go ahead and read the article, and now when I get to that, I'll comment. Malaysian authorities are being asked to launch a new search for Flight MH370 9 years after it disappeared from radars over the South China Sea. The request comes after U.S. marine robotics company Ocean Infinity claimed to have found new evidence of the plane's possible location. The Boeing 777 was en route from Kuala Lumpur International Airport to Beijing with 239 passengers on board on March 8, 2014, when it vanished from the grid less than an hour into its journey. For 3 years, Malaysia, China, and Australia searched for the plane in the Indian Ocean where it was believed to have crashed, only to come up empty-handed. The search was officially called off in January 2017, with no conclusion made about what could have happened to the mystery flight. However, speaking to The Guardian on the 9th anniversary of the incident, Ocean Infinity CEO Oliver Plunkett said that that after his company conducted its own unsuccessful search in 2018, it has now obtained new evidence that could finally lead to the discovery of the plane. Although he did not share specifics of the findings, Plunkett said he hopes to convince the Malaysian government in the coming weeks to greenlight another search and launch it later this year or in 2024. The initiative is also being supported by Voice 370, a group of relatives of passengers who were on board the MH370 when it disappeared. Meanwhile, a new Netflix documentary titled MH370, The Plane That Disappeared, has reignited public interest in the mystery and shed light on the new theories. Cindy Hendry, a volunteer researcher at now-defunct satellite imagery company Tomnod, told the Netflix filmmakers that she found what looked like plane debris in the South China Sea just days after the aircraft vanished, thousands of miles from the main search area. Hendry, who scoured satellite images, claims to have found pieces of wreckage that were an almost perfect match to MH370 off the coast of Vietnam, close to where the plane dropped off radars. So, I'm sitting here laying there last night watching the 3-part documentary, and it goes over Cindy covering these images. And she does a really good job, even then, of showing the images, to the documentary people, and does a really good job of explaining and showing what it looked like. Normally a good, nice, clear picture, and then showing kind of what it looked like in the water, and the picture she found on the satellite images. And I'll tell you what, it was nuts. Because she was just, completely blown off, completely ignored. Absolutely, completely ignored. It's crazy. So I don't know how much of what she found is going to be taken in consideration, and if they get it. See, here's the thing. I think that this is crooked from the start, because there were U.S. military aircraft, including AWACS, that were doing operations and stuff like that weren't that far away. I am not convinced that they don't have radar information about this aircraft. Radar information isn't just something that an aircraft, because an aircraft has equipment on it that identifies itself, okay? And when you go to places like Radar Box and FlightAware, stuff like that, when you go to those sites, that's the information that you're seeing relayed to those systems is that equipment. However, that's ADS-B. However, that's not the only type. The air traffic controllers, the military, the government, they have radar systems that aircraft don't have to be putting off any type of signal. It doesn't have to be doing anything. Their radars, and you know this, their radars will pick up the aircraft. So I'm having a real hard time believing that just because the ADS-B and other systems might have been affected in the aircraft, that they had absolutely zero radar contact of any kind of this aircraft for all that time. I'm just not buying it. And per watching the documentary, it sure seemed like they did anything they could to jump at the chance to search in areas where the plane likely wasn't going to be. And this, again, is based off of this data that this company had gone over and had deducted from their forensic science of the data, if you will, that the plane had flown south. And, if this lady's correct on where she saw the images, of course, it would be off the coast of Vietnam. So we'll see. I hope it gets, this is just one of the, I can't even imagine what it would be like to be a family member of somebody that was lost on that aircraft. And 9 years go by and not any closer to an answer. That is insane. That is truly insane. And people shouldn't have to fight to find out the truth about this stuff.